He looks coyly at the ground, suddenly shy. He snaps the air and wiggles. He's either miming fighting a many-limbed creature. He is, however, exhausted. He's had plenty of adventures without you. The joy in the owlbear's eyes is clear. He longs for a home and would love to stay with Shadowheart.
Happy? Gonna get pets? Gonna play? Gonna live with nice lady? Yes. Miss this. More! Yes. Miss.
Didn't expect to be nervous, but seeing everyone here like this, it's strange, isn't it? I feel like I must have dreamed the last few months. Now I'm waking up back in camp with my hair smelling like wood smoke and fallen leaves stuck to my backside. Oh, I've noticed. Ever since I first slipped into my camp garments, I should think. So, we should divvy up what we tell people about what we've been doing these past few months. I'd hate to be a bore that comes along and regurgitates the same story to someone moments after you've told them. Any ideas? Well, there's the visit to the House of the Moon, fending off Sharan assassins. That stray imp that joined us. Bing Bong, wasn't it? We've squeezed in a lot. And I'm glad I got to share it all with you. I'm sure we'll have them hanging off our every word. I'll leave you to do some mingling, unless you need anything else. That can be arranged. Almost a shame we're with company. I'd be tempted to let you whisk me away someplace quiet. Why? Are you expecting to be gone for long? All right. I could get lost in those arms. With music in the air and wine, don't get into trouble, but...
There you are, my friend. Breathe deep. Can you smell it?
You take a deep breath, but you don't notice anything beyond the ordinary.
You don't know what you're missing. The sweetness of honeysuckle, the earthiness of splitting oak. A far cry from the rancid Avernus heat that's been clogging my lungs. I swear, Karlach and I have felled enough cambions to build a fortress with their horns. Who'd have thought that just one of those fiends held the key to escaping Avernus for good? One of them sported a map and some blueprints. If you want all the gory details, Karlach can fill you in. But get this. If those blueprints work, I could reverse engineer my stone eye. Instead of Mazora tracking me, I could track her. It's past time for her old pet to sink in his fangs. I've missed you too. The rush of battles we fought, the heart-to-hearts, the nights around the fire, the comfort of knowing I didn't face the unknown alone. If I had to do it all over again, and I'd rather not, to be clear, I can't imagine not having you at my side. I think the splinters I made out of the last bone devil I saw speak for themselves. Not to pat myself too hard on the back, but I'm not such a bad ranger if I do say so myself. I've seen him more than a few times, and he's as proud of me as I am of him. He's leading the city's renewal, opened the gates to all newcomers, rebuilt the council from scratch. And he's back in his element, commanding the Flaming Fist with brave heart and no shortage of empathy. The likes of Gortash can bend people's minds with a few chosen words. No tadpole needed. Bane's Chosen primed the Fist for a war they weren't meant to win. He convinced them there was an assassin hiding in every shadow, that cruelty was the correct answer to crisis. With a few exceptions, fathers pardoned every last fist. If my forgiveness not be Tyr's will, so be it. I shall forgive them all the same. His words, not mine. He still believes in the bow and the blade, but with Floric's help, he's teaching the Fist a new lesson. Valor is found not in the wounds you inflict, but in the lives that you have bettered. May they all take it to heart. Well, that's enough hell talk for the moment, or wasting any of the wine for that matter. I plan on downing half a bottle myself. Oh.
A familiar sight. Scratch can't quite speak around the thing he has in his mouth.
I found this. It smelled like you, so I kept it. Seemed like something you might like to throw. Oh, I've been so good. I've got a nice home in the city now. A girl named Mindy says I'm her best friend. She's mine too. Also you and Owlbear. I've got so many best friends, I hardly know who to play with. I certainly have, and I always will. Forever, I think. And so will you.
A familiar sight. Scratch can't quite speak around the thing he has in his mouth.
Do you even have to ask? Oh, boy! You always know just how to do it. Do you even have to ask? Oh, boy! Is it lovely to sniff you again? I certainly have, and I always will.
Wish I'd had time to polish the bones.
You made it! You would think someone of my vintage would be inured to the passage of time. Yet these past 6 months have seemed endless without your company. But now, our paths cross once more. We have all pined for each other's company, I sense. That bond was forged in a crucible that can never be stoked again, Oak Father willing. I know it can, for I feel the longing for old friends in my heart each day. I always do. Should I ever decline, assume a doppelganger has taken my place. That was more than worth the wait. That was more than worth the wait? Oh, I suppose you didn't mean that literally. Now, we have much to catch up on. Do not allow me to ramble on. I am eager to hear all you've been doing. In that case, our community grows rapidly. In 6 months, we have turned what was once a shadowy wasteland. The old masonry of Moonrise Towers and Rythwin have been repurposed into new homes. And the land is rich with harvests and bountiful trees. Nature and civilization are in... my greatest purpose and greatest reward. You are welcome whenever you like. Now, please, tell me all, and spare no details. I shall not lie. Their appetite for bedtime tales is greater than I could ever have anticipated. They have all but exhausted my repertoire in but a few short months. No mean feat given the lifetime I have lived. I desperately need new material, please. My reputation is at stake. I am all ears. Though I never cared for that phrase. A rather unsettling image. You have kept yourself busy. I expected no less, in truth. I shall be able to keep the children enthralled for a few more nights yet, thanks to you. Now, it would be cruel of me to hoard you all to myself for the evening, as much as I would like to. Quite often. They come and go as they please, but with so many... They ask after you often. What you did for them will never be forgotten. To make a child smile is to dabble with the power of gods, as far as I'm concerned. I spend half my days in ursine form. The children demand it. I had a score of them taking turns riding upon... I'm glad they are so comfortable with the Oakfather's creations. But as for roaming, that impulse has dwindled, I must admit. Perhaps because I have found where I am meant on occasion, but I prefer not to interfere. Francesca of the... Even Korga may yet find true balance, thanks to her, as did I, but... So... Amazing, by all... I could get used to this. Before you go, I have something for you. Ducks are my favorite, but I thought they were particularly fitting in this case. Yet, they always find their way back to where they belong. Just like old friends find themselves back in just a token to remember me by. Now, it truly is splendid to...
Ah, my dear friend. Our skeletal friend will be very pleased to see I found my way here, despite my invitation getting lost in the post. Always, my friend. But the villain I must needs slay today is my greatest yet. You won't be surprised to find I'm soon to publish a little holiday read about how I've gotten quite good at replicating your signature, so you needn't even... You might help me with the title, though. I'm considering The Hero and Me. What do you think? I, me, it's all Volo. Perhaps, once the manuscript is finished, you'd even be willing to write Ah, your success really has been... But you mustn't let me hog your attention all night, my friend. You've met... Don't what?
Oh, Tara. It hurts to be so misunderstood by my oldest friend.
Much under these very skies. Such pleasure to see them once.
Well, look who decided. I wasn't sure our withered old friend could live up to his prop. And you're looking more delicious than ever. Whatever you've been doing with your time, it clearly worked wonders. Love is a powerful... And where better to celebrate our good fortune? An old haunt with old friends. I've taken a turn as an adventurer, and it turns out no one actually cares about murder, as long as you murder the right people. And apparently I'm rather good at it. Let's not get carried away, darling. I'm still me. Perhaps more me than I've ever been. I did at first, but then I realized... I spent too long defined by what other people did to me. The choices other people... This is who I am. In all my glory, for better and for worse. That being said, I haven't completely given up on returning to the sun. If the opportunity presented itself, well, I wouldn't say no. But until then, we've had quite the journey. From the moment I first threatened you, I knew you were someone special. I will miss our time together. But then again, maybe this isn't goodbye. So much as it's, see you later, darling.
Hells yes! You're here!
After every...
The day
Beautiful night. I wish
well,
it could...
now. You can make yourself presentable when you have a mind to. An unworthy one. Forgive me. I am simply excitable. My first, since the reconstruction began. Same twisting alleys for purse pickers. Same wooden buildings ready to get burnt by next year's dragon. Same cisterns. Baldurians simply get on with it. Harpers have come from half the world. My own son, Jord, has been wooed to their ranks. Already. Not so for my daughter. Ryan's rejoined the Flaming Fist, though she spends more time locking up comrades for pocketing aid funds. They might learn a thing or two, if they don't expel her. There is still much to do. I may have little love for this city, for all your travels. I hope you have arrived where you want to be. Home. Whatever that means to you. Ah, sentiment. With the greatest affection, I can think of better ways to sour our stomachs. I must inspect the refreshments. You'll never know. Why are you looking at me so? I'm enjoying.
Smells so good here! Oh, shit. Oh, soldier. It's really you. I've missed you, man. Like, I've really missed you. And you're so clean. I'd say so. Can't think of who's been carrying your pack now that Kay's out of commission. Man, we had some good times. Wish Will and I had more time to reminisce, but surviving Avernus is just non-stop. Still, having him there has been incredible. Oh, but hey, guess Cambion dropped a map with directions and blueprints for Zariel's own private forge. A fucking forge! Our current plan is to get in, grab a smith, and force him to fix old Rusty. You haven't seen the last of old Karlak yet, soldier. Couldn't have said it better myself. Keep a bottle of something good in the icebox for me, huh? Mama Kay's coming home before too long. Can I look you up when I'm out? Hey, that would be kind of fun, though. High-stakes hide and seek. Honestly, I'd be curious to see if you could land a blow or two. Gods, is it good to see you again. To be here, together. Hard not to get used to it all over again. This won't be the last time. I promise. Look at this.
You see, Boo?
Look at this place.
Boo! We are not dreaming. It is our old friend. Oh, and it is good to be seen. Oh, after so many days down in the dark, Minsk began... You will forgive the aroma, I hope. We were not expecting the Dusty One to open a port. Boo had a moment to lick himself clean, but there is a little too much. Minsk and Boo have been helping, of course. We... The Zentarum rule the city's underbelly. So Minsk and Boo went to give them a tickle. We awoke in a Zentish cell, awaiting trial by noble combat. Execution, says Boo, though I am not sure of the difference. It is a long walk to the gallows, and Minsk still has his fists, no? The Zent may keep their peace, but leave such matters for the morn. How have you filled your days since we tore this sticky tyrant from the sky? Without tadpoles, Boo. He has developed something of a taste for tadpole. And there is much merriment to be made, but... this pond shall do nicely, Boo. Away, my...
I'd take over this any day.
Withers is well versed in the preparing of meat.
Enjoying yourself, I hope. I know. I'll have to... Let's make tonight count. The only regrets I want to hear about come morning should revolve around an excess of carousing and questionable dancing. Withers has a keen eye for a nice vintage.
Oh, hello. Let me guess, you've got some suggestions about the music choice. I find it hard to summon up the trademark pep these days. You have no idea who I am, do you? I thought Withers might have set the stage a little. I owe him a favor, one he is eternally invoking. I thought honoring the worthy was a fair price to pay for Withers to pull me out of the fugue plane. Alas, one purgatory to another. Languishing in obscurity. Cyric knew what he was doing. Before I was banished to the fugue plane, I had song prayers coming out the proverbial ear.
Musical prayers were once offered to Menil, Lord of Song, a minor deity whose worship faded.
I'm washed up, I'm afraid. You know. You're bloody right. It is an honor. Finally. The scribe picks an adventurer of substance, of culture. What can I do you for? Your wish is my... etc. What song do you want? Fantastic idea. Greetings, O cultured adventurer.
Withers has a keen eye for a nice vintage. Why were we scrounging in barrels and crates for supplies when he could source these? Oh, I remember one evening when we had to eat 14 apples, some fish heads, and a stale loaf of bread just to get by.
Had left the table, so this is still the first.
Withers can pluck wine from all over the world, but is there one bottle of fresh blood?
Here. Damn. Oh, I could eat a beholder. What's cooking?
Beautiful night. I wish it could last forever.
This seems pretty red, but no, not even close.
For 2 months, I trained the Knights of the Comet. For 2 more, I never imagined we'd be standing toe-to-toe on this day. In this... Nothing but allies, I always told myself. A necessary partnership. Seeing you brings me even more pleasure than taking a Royal Inquisitor's head. It's nice to hear it. It's taken a dozen Gish's talents. A few stolen. Worth it, I'd say. I miss this place. This... Fey Run. Shractalor. I wouldn't expect you to. The capital city of the Githzerai. An exiled people. Our Gish sent word of the rebellion to their god king Zareth Minyan. It's fallen to me to secure an alliance. My blade is keen as ever. But it was sometimes a sincere... Minyara Gith is an ascetic. He reached out, and if he refuses, I am the comet. I will not rest until my people will be free. But you've heard that refrain before. Zealous, bossy, insist. Soon, when the comet... I miss this place. More to the point, I miss you. Now go. Ming, I'll be back one day. This is...
Well, there he is. Gale and all his... the god of ambition. Have you ever heard anything more ridiculous? Ambition. Aspiration. The Gale I knew wasn't like this. Unfortunately, he fell into company that turned his gaze toward foolishness. Yes, I mean you. Then you're just as mad. I know there's nothing you could have done to stop him. Not really. Perhaps you'd be willing to come meet Gale's mother sometime? She misses him so. And I know it would... Jolly good. I'll tell Mrs. Dekarios to be expecting you. Oh, she'll enjoy your party, dear. I've heard... You'd best not have any plans to follow in Gale's footsteps.
Goodness. Was Faerun always so... dull? Still, at least the company was worth the trip. If not the view. I told you I would. Didn't I? I imagine you're wondering how all this came to be. The finer points of divine... First, I retrieved the crown of Karsus, and as you know, the orb within me was the half-formed Karsite Weaver. I finished it. Using the crown of Karsus, I turned it into... As expected, Mystra was unwilling to hand over the reins of the weave, so... I've claimed dominion over another area which I've... passing familiarity. Ambition. I offer them nothing. Great as the heights I've reached thus far may be, I've not forgotten those drawn to the Galarian Creator merely seek my guidance as the impressive all... Ambition is about beginnings. It's not just about the heights, but the lows that preceded them. I was nothing. A drifting dust mote of a wizard, abandoned by my goddess, my powers lost, my reputation destroyed. And look at me now. I'm proof their hopes are not barren wastes, but the loamy soil in which their future achievements will flourish. Proof that with ambition, anything is possible. You see? Now you're... There are already several shrines in my honor scattered across... This is only the beginning. Don't worry. With the ambition you hold, pursue your dreams and keep me in your prayers. It's quite something, isn't it? Fear not. It's quite some... Fear not. Still, I mustn't frighten them with my newfound powers.
can't keep away from me, Why, I feel better. Are you trying to make... Oh, did you now? Come on then, out with it. You didn't. Of course he can come with us. Are you sure he'd want to join? I'm not exactly settled anywhere right now. All right then. It's settled. Oh, the things we'll get up to. Checking in on me?
Happy? Gonna get...
This one night thou art the savior of Baldur's Gate. Until such time it requires saving again. I am pleased to hear it. Enjoy the revelry of the day. Thou deservest at least that. What indeed? The balance of the world restored. The balance of these lives, mortal and otherwise, brought to account. Hear me, thou heroes, wastrels, friends. I have waited long to tell you these words. It is over. For now. Thou played thy part in weaving the fabric of fate itself, but for every thread you sewed, so did the gods unravel another. Sleep, rest, revel, but be ready, for thou mayst yet be needed. Until we meet again, I wish thee every possible fortune, health, wealth, love, and above all, problems worth solving. To you. There thou art, the dead three. Thy faces gods, thy actions barely worthy of the name. Didst truly believe thy ploy would succeed? Didst believe I would not notice? Thou sought to bolster thy strength by taking away the souls of mortals. But souls vanish when their hosts become mind flayers. Didst think the other gods would not notice? Gods thou may be, yet thou hast proven thyself fools. Everyone. The supplication of Bane, the whimper of Baal, the death mule of Merkel. Felled by mortals. I overestimated thee. They did not. Vermin, away. Thou wilt trouble us no more.